Hey everyone, I'm going to talk about working from home, but my name is Janet HCG from Southwest London, uh, Wimbledon in the United Kingdom, and everyone all over the world is, welcome. I've also said that I'm going to bring two surprises, and the two surprises I'm going to do is going to talk about the movies I've watched recently. I think I talked about Doctor Strange and Dumbledore's Secrets and so on. I'm also going to talk about how you can do your, because I don't want to make this a separate video, because here, this video obviously is about working from home and so on. Okay, yes, I already told you my name, and I've worked in the public and private sector, and I've had interest in everything, writing, movies. I haven't published anything, but I do try to practice short stories, and I have a legal background, and I have been interested in fitness and nutrition in the past, but not as a professional, as a client, as in researching a lot of stuff. And I've had personal trainers in the past help me up, so I'm taking whatever they've taught me to do it. And I told you I'm not going to talk about my skin and beauty and my weight loss until I'm confident to tell you or what have worked for me. So basically, so that's the stuff, things that I'm interested in. But in this channel, I talk about so many different things. I talk about natural hair days, skin and beauty. I talk about food, basic cooking. I can just show you some basic cooking stuff. And I talk about controversial things as well. Anything you want to talk about. Now, I've talked about bereavement, Jane, Mother and Father's Day. If you've been bereaved by your parents and you want to talk about Mother and Father's Day, how that affects you. I've talked about the cost of living. I just talk about so many things. So today I'm going to talk about working from home and the whole controversy. But before I talk to you, I'm going to talk to you first about my first surprise is that if you want to know how I had my hair like this, in this way, if you notice, I've not used the gel to do my baby hair or something like that. I've already told you how to put a ponytail, and don't worry about the color. The color will soon change. It's not my real color. My real color is this, so there's no point changing my ponytail. And there you go. If you run out of gel, or I'm about to wash my hair soon, you know, um, but you don't want to use your new gel, or you've just run out of gel. What you can do is you can just sprinkle water. You see, the coil is still there because of sprinkled water, and put grease on it, okay? And then you can just tie a scarf, okay? Now, you won't get your baby hair coming out, but you will have a good amount of hair all pressed backwards. So just sprinkle it with water and put your oil or any hair grease all in it, and then you tie your scarf. And you're going to do it that morning before you put your makeup while you're doing other things. And then you're only going to remove it when it's time for you to get ready. So basically, this is how you can get your ponytail slightly slick backwards. Your your ponytail slick backward doesn't have to be completely, down like a perm hair. All you have to do is just to take it backwards, and all you need to do is just put water and grease, and then put your scarf. If you put your scarf and tie it properly, it will go. It will go backwards, so you don't always have to use the gel. I know the gel is good, but look, I get those tiny waves on my hair. Water can do that, and gel is made out of water, so you can do that. So that's the first tip I want to do, and the first surprise. Um, the second surprise, I'll tell you about the other film that I've watched recently. I haven't watched the Tom Cruise film. Okay, so we're gonna move on straight to talking about working from home. This trend started with the pandemic, but a lot of people, including managers, have been doing it for a very long time. And I know that Elon Musk recently said that people should come back to the office, and that he would take it that they've resigned. Apple told a lot of people to do that. First of all, I think you should stop telling people to come back to the office. They're not on holiday, they're actually working. They're actually working. And if there are people who don't have too many kids in their home and prefer to work from home, I do feel that people should work from home. Attacking people. A lot of people have come out on LBC and said that the contract said that this is what they should do. Wrong. The contract said that they should get their targets and they should do their job. The contract does not say the location that they have to be. Okay? because there isn't a lot of junior staff to make your tea and for you to stand over and start bringing your office politics. Recently, there are a lot of people now who've left offices because they're being targeted because they refuse to socialize with other office people. People just want to come to the office to do their job. You don't have a right. You know, all this little politics and all this microaggression, you know, people are not constantly getting it. And I know there's an advert with people saying, sorry about that. There's a lot of people, sorry about that. I should have put my phone on silence. It's not really. Hmm. So, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I understand. I don't edit my videos because my videos are done strictly on an iPad or an iPhone, and it's really um that's it is really done quickly. You know, you get all these issues, and she said when she was feeling lonely, the boss checks on her and all that from her bedroom. A lot of people would be so glad to be walking in their bedroom or in their living room. All you have to do is your office can get you a proper desk and chair. They'll pay for your Wi-Fi, they'll pay for your energy bill. She doesn't know how lucky she is, whereby she doesn't have to be called to a manager's officer or male manager's office, and the man is giving her attitude. Nobody is bothering you. Your work colleagues are not your friends. You may have friends outside of your office. This is ridiculous. I've been in the office for whatever. It's only the friends in my home office, people that still contact me when I was in the home office in the civil service. And to tell you the truth, most of the time these days is by a group WhatsApp. People who I thought were my real good friends, my real much closer than these people, have ghosted me a long time ago. So people you work with are not necessarily your friends. You can make friends. Think about it. You wake up early enough, you do your exercise, you can go for a walk or whatever. You can sit and try and do your work. You can take half an hour lunch, you know, and make sure you could close before 5 and things like that. Working from home doesn't mean that you have to switch off and be working late up to 7 o'clock. Sometimes some people even may see themselves doing that. They may see themselves doing that, but make sure that you've gone out there and walk, and you know you've gone out for a walk before you do that. So I really want people to understand this, that I think that if people want to work from home, they should be allowed to work from home. The only reason why people don't like it, a lot of top directors and managers in the past have been working from home a long time ago, long before the pandemic. We need to learn to adapt to change, and we need to learn to be flexible. Majority of civil servants don't even have enough office space. Now, if my ask me to work from home, I will. But at this moment in time, because I've had a career break, I would like to see how things are in the office. So one has to be very careful. And that's that. And I know people don't like being spoken to as if they're kids in the office. People do get that. What people don't really understand is that we should actually have a 4-day week. That brings people's more productivity and is better for their mental health. It's really something that we really need to think about. So you can put your options in. When people start calling into LBC now, this is a talk radio. I get it on Alexa or Global Player. And people come in and say people don't want to work anymore. How dare you? How effing dare you? These people are working. They could have kids, they could have elderly parents, there could be people who are extremely shy. They're not work shy. You know, there are people who probably don't want any stress. There are people who like to do things in their own way. There are people who actually work on contracts. Majority of the customer service people that have called me since the pandemic, some of them are taking these calls from home. Some people are actually working from home. So what is the problem? And they do a good job. I got my new passport on time. People say, oh, people from working from home are not doing this and they're not doing that. Okay, let me tell you what the employment contract says. The it says you owe a duty of care to your employees, and the employee has to see out their contract, or not necessarily the end of their contract, because they can opt out. I mean, The contract is for them to do their job. Now, when I worked in a home office, you did your 7, 8 hours, you did your 25 target or to 30 target. If you finish your target 3:30, 3:45, you could start leaving as long as you've done your 7 hours, or you make up the hours the other time and take half an hour lunch. The office place has changed. The office space is no longer just 9 to 5. We started practicing flexible working hours, and people had already started working from home. We need to have more time for our well-being and more time for ourselves. And I'm not just talking about people who have children. I'm talking about people who want to concentrate on themselves and not make office an issue. As long as people have reached their targets, they're putting in their 7 hours or whatever hours they're supposed to do, or unless they've cut down their hours to part-time hours. Why should it matter where they work? Why? Because you want to want them to come to the house to get you a cup of tea, or because you want to sort of what? Because you're not telling them off, or you're not harassing that woman anymore, or you're not being narcissistic towards that woman. You know, nobody should be speaking to people in that way, and that's that. Oh, why? Hmm? Because you want to spy, or you want to spy on that worker. You want to patronize that worker. No, you can't do it now. That person is working from home. Let me tell you something. If you're working from home and there is a big reason you're working from home, you can go to personnel and go to your employment lawyer. Your union has said that for certain reasons you have to work from home. Whether you're looking after your elder parents or your mental health and so on, at least you're working from home. If you want to have flexible working hours or part-time hours, you should be given those. You can start work 8 o'clock and leave 3:30 and take half an hour lunch and concentrate on yourself. Hell, when you finish doing your exercise, you can take a break and go for a walk during lunchtime. After work, go for another walk. Because it won't matter when you eat lunch. If you're involved in all this lifestyle whereby people prefer to fast, then you can start eating bits and pieces like from 3 o'clock. And that's that. Just don't eat when you're having a camera meeting and all that. It is possible to have all of this. When you're having a meeting, just make sure that you have a good background. And that's just the best way to do it. If you're in a one-bedroom place, it is possible if you don't have too many children with you. You can use your bedroom, make space for your bedroom. There is nothing more than somebody being really productive than being in a calm environment. The office can be, the ambience can be, office can be nice, but it depends on the kind of work you're doing. If you, when you have 3 or 4 managers all calling you for one thing, or they tell you to stop this project and start on another one, that's not very nice. But when you're working from home, you can focus on your point. Yes, they can call you and say, "Oh, sorry, this is not possible." Da da da, and you can say, "Can you email me? I'm involved in a project." Put it on voicemail. So the problem is not that these people are not working. They are working. It's just that you want to spy on them, you want to supervise them, or you want to lord it over them. You want to be patronizing it against them. Because having half people or nobody in your office, it means that you're no longer important. Because you want to feel important now in your office. Because when you come back in your office and everybody is saying, yes, sir, no, sir, come on, let's say the truth. When somebody is saying, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir, it makes you feel important. But now there's nobody in the office. And you're not able to give anybody orders. Oh, you have visitors and you want them to go and buy sandwiches and whatever. Well, they're not the catering staff. Why do you badly want people in your office when they can do the job anyway? We need to learn to adapt to change. We need to learn to adapt to flexible working hours. And that's the way forward in the future. And forgive me, it's very unfair to say people to come back to work. I'm sorry, they have been working throughout the pandemic. The only difference is that they work in a different location. When I worked in the home office, I do my 25, my 30, so 99.9% accuracy. I go get my target. That's all I needed to do. I was out of the office half 3:45 because I got in 8 or before 8. One of the locals, that's why I don't like working in local authorities. One of the local authorities, because I finished quickly and I went early, they were trying to put more jobs towards me. I left him eventually. That's why people don't like people working from home. If I had the chance, when I get my new job, if they want me to work, I will figure it out. The only reason why I won't rush to working from home, because I don't need it, because the kind of job I do in the civil service is gonna be case working, whatever. So at the moment, I'm looking to get back. I'm not yet back there, but when I get back, I will see what's gonna happen, and that's that. But working from home can be a wonderful thing. If you have 10 children and you have a stressful husband, then I get why you may want to stay in the office, you know. But people who want to work from home should be given the chance, as long as you remove the stress in your personal life. You don't have a nagging husband or a nagging wife. You need to remove yourself from those people. So employers, why do you really want people to come into the office when they're actually doing their job? Is it that they just make you feel more important? Or you need somebody to go and buy your lunch? Well, your workers are not your catering staff, okay? Or you just want to patronize people or give people orders and you want to talk down to people. I just think that I'm really sorry, surprised that people like Elon Musk and Apple. These are the people that should know about modern technology. And if you know about modern technology, then people should be able to work in whatever location they want. They are not contracted to be in the office. They are contracted to give you that 7 hours a day. It doesn't matter what location they do it. Okay, people have problems. There could be many reasons. Okay, they could be looking after aged parents, they could be ill, they could be looking after their mental health. So why can't people do that? Besides, there's a problem with work speed. You can make it a hybrid situation. You can have people do 3 days in the office, 3 days out. Okay, and if there's not enough office space, you can rotate it and let people know. They may not even like working at home, and then they can call you and say, look, can I come back into the office? They're still doing their work. The point trying to make is that I'm not telling you what to do in your office. You don't want people working from home. That's your choice. But you need to think about what is suitable for your employees. Your employees could still take you to court and say that this is something that suits them, or they could leave. And to tell you the truth, there are more vacancies actually now than people. For some reason, I don't know, people seem to have disappeared. Oh, they died during the COVID, and my sympathies and my condolences to them. A lot of people don't need to do this. People are downsizing, they live in smaller houses, they're getting a government allowance or so on. In case you haven't heard, there's not enough people to go around the whole vacancies. So you try to sack somebody right now, they can say, there's just really not, I can easily get another job somewhere because there are more vacancies. But the cost of living is still really difficult, but there's still more vacancies. Because when you all voted Brexit, you got rid of majority of the Eastern European workers. So there are more vacancies out there. So basically, actually, there are more vacancies out there than people. So basically, you're short staffed. You can't afford to lose as long as they're doing their job. The receptionist isn't going to do that. The security guard isn't going to work from home. But people who are just using their laptop, why shouldn't they? Even if you don't want to do this, you need to understand certain things, that we are not in the 1900s anymore. You need to learn to adapt to change. This is the same thing employers have been telling employees when they wanted us to use software. And now employers don't want to adapt to change. Flexible working hours, part-time working hours, hybrid working, okay, working remotely, basically, is the new norm. And we all need to adapt to change. So please listen to your employees on why they want to work from home. Thank you. To your success.